Are you stupid as I think you are?
Let me tell you something, right? There is a generation of women who are living by themselves, and we talking about old Keishas living by themselves, and they're selling this idea to other women, younger women, that it's okay to grow old and be alone as long as you have your career, as long as you have your as long as you have your degrees, you're fine. You'll be fine. But in all actuality, you start looking at them and looking at their life, and this video right here is pretty sad. And the Keishas that watched this video didn't see how how sad this video was. They looked at it and the only thing they focused on was one part of the story, but didn't focus on the rest. And that's because a lot of them are financially struggling. So when they hear anything of any success, that's all they want to talk about, because they don't have, usually they tend not to have any success anywhere when it comes to marriage, when it comes to, their careers, they always in debt. So when they hear any small little thing about, making bettering yourself with a better salary and going on trips, that's the only thing they think about, because they live in this fantasy world where all that matters. But to us, that's just regular. But anyway, let's get to the video.
Single, no kids, never married. I'm 54, single, no kids, never married. And I was this close to becoming the cat lady, but I chose myself instead. In 2002, before I lost both of my parents, I ended my engagement. He never said it, but his energy shifted. I had been teaching.
This is in 2002. She ended her engagement in 2002.
Teaching second grade, but I started studying IT right before Y2K. People thought I was crazy for walking away from teaching, but I had a plan and it worked. I got certified, understood networking, and transitioned into corporate America, tripled my salary, and started traveling. And I think that's when everything really changed between us. We were still long distance. He had moved back home after not finding a job in Atlanta, but after my career shift, he distanced himself. No calls, no texts.
Now look at her. Look. She's 54 with a botched BBL. 54 with a botched BBL. That should tell you everything you need to know. Look how soggy it looks. It's a soggy BBL. They all look bad, but this is soggy. But just for y'all to understand, what happened was, because when she was a teacher, the relationship was fine. Whether it was long distance or not, it was fine. But once she tripled her salary, once she, start making more money, why did it go south? Why did it go south? It was okay, but when you was a teacher and you weren't making as much, why did it go south? I tell you why. She thought she was better than him because of the money she was making. That's why. You see, when these Keishas start making more money, if they start making more money than the men they're with, they start to lose respect for them. And when they start to lose respect for them, instead of just leaving, they just start disrespecting them. You don't see, Becky's and Maria's that make more money. You don't see Marrakesh that make more money than they men just start disrespecting them. They still get married. They still, have their own families, and the men still get respect. The men are still the households of this head of the households of those families, but they don't get disrespected. It started going south for her because she decided she wanted to get out of that field, make more money, and he just wasn't doing it for her. Now, remember, at the time, this was in 2002, she was 31 years old, which means it was already dark for her. It got dark for her. At 31, it's getting dark. So if there's a guy for you, he's the light. He's the light. Because at 31, nobody's checking for you. You done missed the mark. Marriage is out the door. But you had a guy and you was engaged, but didn't understand that was your last chance. You thought you had unlimited options because of your career. Let's go.
Weeks would go by, and I could feel it. He wasn't alone on the other end of that silence. I didn't have proof, but I carried on. I focused on work. I was loving traveling, learning software. Now, it was stressful, but it was different. It was fun. It was what I wanted. I manifested it.
Manifest.
I remember scripting, writing down my dream job and how I wanted a day in a life to be. I would take out that piece of paper and read it 2 to 3 times a day or whenever I thought about it. And now I was
That's right. Take those supplements. She is looking. She says 54. She looking 60 in the grill over here.
living that. So work was my focus. And that's when I met, let's just say, the IT guy. We worked together. He was a good distraction. He understood the stress of starting a new job, learning the software. He would sit in my classes and help me answer questions. We started hanging real tough. And
see, so she met another IT guy, which means that in the IT world, right? If you in IT, dudes usually get paid more. They put in more work, put in more time, put in more hours, right? So the dude that she probably was talking to was making more than her. So the dude that she was talking to prior lost her interest, and now it's about this guy. But instead of just saying that, she want to make excuses on why she wasn't feeling that guy anymore. No, it was because you started making more, and now you looking for a guy that makes either the same amount as you or a little more. And that's the reason why you started talking to this guy.
And because of him, I wasn't blowing up my fiance's phone anymore. Not like I used to. Which honestly, I don't
Which is crazy. That's her fiance. Remember, this is her fiance. This is not just some guy. This is her fiance that she just decided to stop calling, messing with this random dude. Fiance, not boyfriend. This the guy that you are about to marry, and you stopped talking to him because you met this dude.
I don't even know why I ever did. He barely returned my calls. I was lucky if I heard from him once every 2 weeks. I remember telling the IT guy all of this. He never really backed.
Telling the IT guy all your business about the guy that you're with instead of talking to the guy that you're with. This is what they do. This is what they do. So you talking to a guy. Imagine a fiance finds out that, wow, you told all our business to some guy that you just met, some guy that you are in the field with, and he's in your field. How should he feel? How should he feel? Because that dude, the new dude that she's talking to, he don't care. He's pretending like he cares. He's just there to take on the Pound Town tour. That's it. He's just there to take on, run her through the mud, and after that, he's done. Run her through the mud, then after that, he's done. This is what they do, man. This is what they do.
Bashed him, but he'd say, I would never treat you like that.
Of
I could
course.
see it in his
Of
eyes.
course.
He wanted to steal me away. It was like a
He
challenge.
didn't want to
to him.
steal you away.
He helped me stop
Challenge.
obsessing. We had fun. We'd go out after work, but eventually I felt guilty. So I decided to end the engagement. The look on my ex's face when I told him, that hurt. I could see it. He really did love me, despite never telling me or calling me, but I felt like I made a mistake.
Of course you made a mistake. Of course you made a mistake. Because what happened? You broke it off with your ex. After you broke it off with your ex, what happened with the new dude? What happened with the new dude? Oh, he took you on a tizzy tour and then bounced. And now you can't go back to the other dude. Now you can't go back. Now here's the kicker, black men. Okay, so you messed up. This was over 20 some years ago. You was 31, you're 54 now. So in between that time, what happened? What happened to the potential suitors? What there were none. There were none. Look at her. Look at this. There were none. You thought you had unlimited options. The guy that you dumped 20-something years ago, and that's the reason why she's still thinking about it, because that was her last chance at something real. And now, 23 years later, she's about to be 24 years later, she's at home by herself, nobody. This is the rest of her existence at 54. It's finito for her. And I don't care what you say. Women don't want to grow old alone. They rather come home and have a man there, share their day with, share their time with, go on vacations with, spend nights with, not be in a bed by themselves. And now look at her. Nobody. This is their future. Now, here's the thing. A lot of these Keishas will look at her and say, why not? She seems like she's doing okay. She traveled, she made money, she's doing. Here's the thing for those Keishas. What's the percentage of Keishas in IT? What's the percentage of Keishas making 6 figures or better? What's the percentage of Keishas making $80,000 to $90,000, $100,000? The percentage of women making low 6 figures is 6% of all women. 6%. Not just Keishas, of all women. 6%. So that means the rest of the Keishas that are the rest of the women, not just the Keishas, the rest of the women better understand that in order for them to survive, in order for them to get through life without any hiccups, without having to be in a shizzy, the shelter, without them having to be, living on the streets, they need to get with a man and basically put their resources together so they can survive, because nothing is getting lower, everything is high. So to survive inflation, They need to team up with somebody, team up with a man, and build from there, or it's downhill. We're talking about the other 94% of women who don't make that much. The other 94% of women who don't make that much. What about them? See, look at her. This is sad. This is sad. Nobody checking for. Nobody checking for. She's still reminiscing in 2002. 2002. This is what happens, man. You thought you had unlimited options. Now you're done out here. Peace.
Are you stupid as I think you are?